deer head mounted on the wall stared across the bar. I looked up at the morbid trophy and thought, it's judging me. No, it's judging us all. I took another shot of brown burning liquor and grimaced as hot coal went down my digestive system. My story is pathetic, and everyone around the hunt and gather bar wants to keep to themselves nowadays. Divorced single father who lost his children from being bipolar and making irrational decisions. Have you heard this story before? Thought so. Funny enough, I consider myself well figured out. If I laid out the pieces and scrambled through the parts to build a better version of myself, it would probably work out and do some serious changes for my long-lost life, which is the equivalent of the last drop of booze in the bottle. But why? My wife wants this unrealistic expectation of a man who never existed in me. My 2 kids want super dad, involved with every after-school event. Know what I want? A large pizza, family game night, and everyone to stop moving 1,000 miles per hour so I can get my head back on straight. Outside, hunt and gather. More like drunken blabber. Sorry, humor is a big coping mechanism. Outside, hunt and gather bar. The highway is silent. Not one chirp, as if the crickets decided to indulge in self-pity tonight too. Good. We don't need stupid noise, including college kids picking the worst songs from the jukebox or playing the piano while singing how their school football team won the big game, as if that achievement isn't some desperate accomplishment to cling on to until they're old balding men like myself. I remember when... Shut your pie hole, Sonny Jim. We heard that tale pinned on the jackass too many times.
Hateful tonight, aren't you, Tom?
A jolly voice said from my right ear. I looked in that direction and only saw a bloated man passed out an hour ago. Yup, I'm what the youth calls a hater. Hater, hater, space invader. Take me home because I can't stand my annoying neighbor. I said out loud, laughing heavily. I'm glad I was fired. I should be a comedian, not a car salesman.
Tom, this is no joking matter.
The jolly voice spoke again, but much louder and inside my head. I almost fell off my stool when the voice of Saint Nick boomed in my ear. Excuse me? I shouted, covering my ears pointlessly. The mounted deer head stared down at me. I could see his eyes from underneath my fishing hat's brim. The bartender's eyebrow went up, and those, somewhat sober, looked at me like a lunatic.
Collect yourself, Tom. We need to talk, dear friend.
Oh, dear friend, I get it. Because you are a talking deer head, and I'm batshit crazy, I replied in hysterical laughter. I returned to the stool and didn't bother ordering another drink. I knew the bartender already cut me off and would kick me out as soon as I asked. So sitting quietly, buying time was my best bet. Stress can break a person's psyche, right? Like my mind isn't functioning on poor, unwrapped wires. I attempted to take a shot from an empty shot glass and chuckled.
Tom, the poison has gone dry, and we must talk.
His voice oddly echoed and became deep. Talk about what? I muttered softly.
Tom, your family is in terrible danger.
My heart smacked against my chest like a tribal drum. What did this head on the wall know about my family? He must have been pinned above the bar counter for at least 20 years, and I recently started going to hunt and gather about 2 months ago. Has he been watching me like some drunken circus attraction? Like my ex-wife's father who knew his daughter married the wrong man? Fuck off, you know nothing, Antlers. My voice sounded harsh and unfamiliar. Christ, I've gone off the deep end, haven't I?
Blue four-door, automatic trunk. The middle seat belt is still broken, so Christopher and Nancy buckle up by the back doors. Inside the glove department lies your lucky coin your grandfather gave you from his time served in the war. Instead of backtracking, you blamed your wife for not watching the kids close enough and grounded them for a week.
What? How? I wanted to scream so badly. How did it know that information? There's absolutely no way my grandfather's coin is in the glove department. I searched every inch of the house. Hell, even the driveway was checked. I remember pulling out my metal detector from the garage. It was covered in cobwebs. The car was looked through thoroughly too, right?
No.
His voice felt like a spearhead being driven into my temple. I placed my hands over my eyes and kept the tears from flowing. Insanity gripped me in its clutches.
Tom, your wife is driving with Christopher and Nancy in the back seat. They will be entering Granite Falls shortly. A young fawn will foolishly travel across the road. Her mother will sacrifice herself in an attempt to save her beloved. In the process, your wife will be compacted by the mother through the front windshield, causing your family's vehicle to drive off the road, killing your son and daughter. Tom, call her now.
Stop! No, get out of my head! My ears rang violently as blood dripped from them.
Tom.
His voice sounded like an erupting volcano, vibrating my entire being.
Tom, tell your wife to slow down. Tell her to slow down. Tell her to slow down.
Okay! I finally snapped. The bartender tried touching my shoulder, and I turned around quickly, storming out of the bar. I felt completely sober. My hands shook, hardly able to hold the cell phone as I attempted to reach out after so much time wasted. The call seemed to reach out like a dying branch to a waning moon. No answer. Oh God. I called again while pacing back and forth in front of Hunt and Gather. Come on, pick up. Pick up, honey. A nervous laugh came out. Honey. Oh, Tom, you don't deserve to call your ex-wife that, you monster. Hello? Her voice fell on my ear, and I abruptly stopped breathing. She sounded just like the night she found out. Jessica, please, can we talk? Tom? Her voice quivered. Yes, it's me, honey. There I go, with the H word again. Talk about what, Tom? She sounded agitated now. First, can you please slow down? I can hear you driving what I'd guess is well over the speed limit. Please, Jess. She laughed nervously, a thing we always had in common. Fuck you, Tom. You are such a lying, manipulative piece of... Jessica, please. I know what I've done. I know I cheated and got drunk. I completely forgot Nancy at soccer practice that same day. Trust me, I relive what I did to you every day of my miserable life. My forehead was against the brick wall as I did my best to sustain myself from panicking. Trust you? Tom, the last time I trusted you, I cheated. Yes. Now please slow down. Look, I'm not calling to blow smoke where the sun doesn't shine. I was told... I had this feeling that you and the kids were in danger. Please, just slow down. Jessica began to accelerate faster. What am I supposed to do? Is this even real? I took advice from a deer. Not just a simple deer either, but one that's taxidermy. I'm sorry. Jessica, please just slow down. For the kids, for Nancy, for Christopher. I felt defeated and drained. I broke my family apart, and now they were going to die. I wept, a full-blown rain cloud, as my mother would say. I never cried so much as I toppled on my knees. Over the line, I heard Jessica scream and tear as the car horn blasted. Nancy and Christopher sounded familiar, but young. Jessica! Silence. Tom? She said, distant and in disbelief. I could only see the image of her head, indented on the steering wheel. Nancy and Christopher contorted in the back seat. We're okay. Just 2 deer ran in front of the car and scared me. I parked on the side of the road. I could hear the tears in her voice. Thank God. I thought I lost you. You did once, Tom. How did you know? I would tell you, but what, Tom? You wouldn't believe me, dear.